Our wedding was back in 2015.
You remembered.
Yes, I don't know what year it is now.
2024.
So it's almost been 9 years. This year it'll be 9 years.
This October, it'll be our 9-year anniversary. That's why we're starting to talk about our 10-year anniversary and what kind of party we're going to have for that.
Yeah, because our party was one to remember. Our party, a lot of people still talk about. There are people who regret not going because they thought it was just going to be like a wedding.
There were people who went to our wedding, and we went to their wedding. They apologized for their wedding being boring. And we're just like, you had the wedding you wanted. Why are you apologizing to us?
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't have the weddings they want to have. They want the wedding that they think they're supposed to want to have.
They have the wedding that goes in the wedding box.
Yeah, they have the wedding that their parents want them to have. They have the wedding that television tells them to want to have. Whereas we just did what we wanted. So we sent out our invitations, and they were like, oh, our retro post-apocalyptic themed wedding.
Retro post-apocalypse themed costume party wedding.
Yeah. And, and people were freaking out about that, the costume party, because it was the day before Halloween anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And there was at least one person, I think they must have been a guest of someone, but there was at least one person who didn't realize they were at a wedding. They just thought it was a costume party, because whoever brought them was like, do you want to go with me to a party? And didn't specify wedding. Which,
that must have been awkward for them, and I love that.
Because, like, it was hard to tell, because until we stopped the party to do our vows, it makes sense. You wouldn't necessarily understand what was going on.
It would be a weird, like, party, though, because it's not like, if someone says, let's go to my friend's party, you think everyone's going to be, like, there's going to be a similarity. They work together, or there's, like, an age thing, or, a, like, fandom going on.
But this was your friend is going to this party, and so's your grandpa.
Yeah. Because there was young people, old people, middle-aged people.
Yeah, that's fair.
No kids, though.
No, we were.
Because we were just like, we do not want children at our wedding.
No, we did have an open bar.
I think at the anniversary, we'll probably just be like, I don't care at that point.
No. Well, all our friends they're all old. We're all old people.
We also, some of our friends are parents whose kids would love to see us, so.
Yeah, so we're not going to bar anybody.
Yeah.
So people ask me, like, oh, what did your dress look like? And the pants. I had a black leg and a purple leg because my gang's colors were black and purple.
I had inherited a tuxedo jacket, and in Mad Max fashion, I took off one of the sleeves and added a shoulder pad.
And your colors were blue and yellow.
Very Fallout.
Yeah, because the story... Was your gang called the Lions?
The Lions. They were specifically from Vault 105.
Right, and then it had the L just drawn in front of that.
Yeah, well, it was like 10 and 5
or
something. We were specifically the external security force, was the lore.
Yeah.
And you were from the gang.
Yeah, we were above ground the whole time while the bolts were going on. We were the ones just kind of in it. Just raiders.
It's radioactive as hell.
Yeah. And we were the Scorpions. And the idea was that we were going to have this ceremony to show that these two groups were coming together. And that's what our wedding was.
It was a political wedding, but also...
Yeah.
Also love.
Yeah.
Marriage.
So my group, it was all purple and black. And we kept saying, like, these are the colors for our specific party members. But otherwise, like, do what you want, costume-wise.
Yeah.
And each of the tables had themes.
And those themes were movies where there was an apocalypse.
Yeah. So, there was, like, Cars for Death Race 2000, and there was...
Robots for Terminator. And we had toys on all the tables. And we accidentally set up a social experiment with this.
Yes, we did.
Every table's toys were specific to their movies. And we announced that you could steal or trade toys as you saw fit. And so you had cartels that started happening.
My father, who was dressed as Elvis, he became like a mob boss somehow. Like, I don't understand what happened, but people were getting him whatever he wanted.
Well, he'd just be like, I'm the father of the bride, get me a toy car.
Yeah.
And people would be like, yes, sir.
Yeah, he wanted a robot. That was the thing.
Yeah. And one of the things I take a lot of pride in is when I made Nuka-Cola. We drank a lot of Coca-Cola, the little mini bottles.
Yeah.
So I could make Nuka-Cola bottles.
Yeah.
And I printed out the labels and I taped them on. And they were really well made. And the reason I know that they were popular is because no centerpiece survived.
No.
We had we had like two, three bottles per table, and they were all gone.
Yeah, which is great. That meant people liked it. And
probably still on a bunch of mantles, which is great.
Every table had a disposable camera.
I got bulk disposable cameras that were supposed to be for like car accidents before cell phones became a thing.
Yeah.
So if you had a fleet of cars, you put a disposable camera in all the things, and so one of those was on every table. And we told people like take whatever photos you want with them, and at the end of the ceremony, drop it in this bin.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to find a photo place.
Yes, it was.
That developed those cameras anymore.
People thought we were
because
crazy.
The digital photos had risen up, and we didn't want to have them shipped out. And every single place that, like, CVS doesn't develop photos in-house anymore.
So it wasn't like a 24-hour thing. When we finally found a place, it took a while. And we let them know, like, there might be things on here that are inappropriate.
We know our friends. You can just not print the ones that have genitals.
They did, though.
Yeah.
They printed all of them.
If you took pictures of your genitals at our wedding, we got pictures of your genitals.
And we know it was you because everyone was in costume.
Mm-hmm. We recognized your genitals.
You labeled yourself. Ah! But yeah.
Some new genitals, some old genitals.
So many genitals. But our costumes were great. You would help me make my shoes.
Yeah, because you had to put spikes in them.
Yeah,
and for some reason, my giant hands were able to do that where your tiny hands couldn't.
The issue was the pushing it through. I wasn't strong enough.
Mm.
Whereas, these days maybe I could. And we also had the wedding survival kit.
Yeah, we got little like Altoid tin shaped things, and we put in like glow sticks, Band-Aids, gum, Advil,
and a
like
whistle.
headache medicine, and a whistle with a
compass
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a whole survival tool. I had a flashlight too.
And then everyone was using the whistles, and I had that moment of, who gave them whistles? And then quickly realized that it was us. We did. We gave them whistles.
It was us. We gave them whistles.
But even the gum was, like, custom.
Because they said, you can print whatever you want on the gum, so we had it labeled standard issue survival gum.
Yeah. My dad started asking for any leftovers because he loved the gum so much.
Mm. I think we still have some packs of that gum. I doubt
it can't be good now.
Well, like, it's stale as hell, but, like, it's as good as it ever was.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. It went by so fast, though. The whole thing was a blur.
Yeah.
Like, I remember because, like, it had sort of the wedding pacing of it, but we were, like, clear about a few things because we thought about all the stuff we hated about weddings and said we should fix that. So, we wanted there to be food and drinks served as soon as you arrived, so you didn't have to stand around getting hungry.
Yeah, and also all the food. We were really particular. We found someone, just a privately owned, it's just one person in her kitchen, and she made our cake for us, mm-hmm. and it was so I could eat it. Well, because she would assure us it's not free. And I decided that it would make life easier, since I have a lot of friends who have food allergies and other dietary restrictions. Anyway, every single food was to be labeled. They all had little cards in front of them that just had the ingredients, so you didn't have to ask and hope the person remembered. You could just figure out what you could eat, put it on a plate, take it. And a lot of people were thankful for that. Mm-hmm. The second chef was really nice.
The first chef was very much like, I'll make allergy-free food and it'll be awful. And the second chef is like, yeah, I know how to make good food without using that.
Yeah, the first chef was like, well, I can make you allergy-free food just for you, a special plate just for you that'll taste like garbage, and no one else will have these same foods, because I don't care about anyone else who might have allergies.
The first chef had illusions of grandeur. The second chef had cooked for people.
The lady in charge gave us this whole big speech about having a bride who was allergic to pepper or something, and they were able to accommodate her, but somehow nut allergy was too much.
Yeah.
That was insane. So, but the second guy was just very friendly and very helpful.
Yeah.
God, the lady, though, I really hated her so much.
Well, because she was under the illusion that we wanted a standard wedding, and because we sort of conned the place. Because when we were setting it up, we used the whole, this is for a family party, because if people hear wedding, they tack a 0 onto stuff.
Right.
Then we weren't one of those people getting married, and it's like, it has to be X, Y, and Z. We had very few, like, demands. Mm-hmm. And essentially it's just like, just give us the place, have bartenders,
and leave us alone.
Label the food, and we will run the party.
Oh, the bartenders were also in costume. They were dressed like mad scientists.
Well, we even said, like, because we were very, like, relaxed. We're just like, if the bartenders want to dress like mad scientists, that's cool. And they did.
They were thrilled.
Super excited about it.
They were so happy. These are people who are used to having boring weddings. So they were so happy to have something else.
So at one point of the setup, because we're like organizing the menu and everything, and you know, she's like, "Well, this is sounding more and more like a wedding." And we already signed the paper, so I'm just like, "It is. We're just having a party about it." I think at that point we're already technically legally married. We're just going up to the date, and she's just like, oh, "We aren't making the margins we would on a wedding." I'm like, "I know what margins mean. You wouldn't be. We don't want you to do any of the wedding stuff. You just wanted that extra $0."
Yeah, we don't want you to choose anything for us.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Nothing presented, nothing announced, nothing like we don't none of that stuff. None of the typical wedding stuff. Just give us a room to eat and dance in and serve alcohol.
I'm gonna jump around slightly.
Okay.
Because I'm stuck on the lady. I hate the lady. It was after the wedding. It was during the after party.
We were sitting around a campfire, drinking our beverages with our friends who were still awake.
She just like appeared behind me. Just like an apparition of just Satan. Just suddenly she was behind me, really, really, really close to my face, and she whispered, "Was it everything you ever dreamed of?" And I thought I was gonna shit myself. I was so scared, because where did you come from? What?
Well, it's autumn on the edge of a New York lake.
Yeah.
Like there's crickets and owls and everything, and she's like, she just popped up like Jason.
We live relatively close to like Sleepy Hollow. Like, there's creepy stuff around. Like, there's no reason to do that to another human being. She thought she was being friendly. I hated her.
She was under the illusion that we were normal people and that you were a princess who wanted the wedding you wanted.
I am not a princess!
You're an empress.
I'm a goblin with a crown. And just...
My goblin.
So she was horrible. And yeah, she put me in a gender box. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, she meant well, but she wasn't an imaginative person, and like she wasn't our vibe.
No, but she came with the venue.
Yeah,
and
she wasn't mean. She was like they advised us well, because initially I'm just like, with my family we might need open bar, and there's like no one drinks at the open bar. Just if you put X amount of dollars into it, then you'll still save money off the open bar, and we've never seen 200 people drink that much.
Yeah.
And we refilled the bar once.
Yeah.
And it still was half as much as what the open bar would have cost us. So I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit for saying don't do open bar.
Okay, so this story time has gone on a little bit longer than I anticipated. So I think we're going to end it here and just have a part 2 next month. So rock on.
Rock on.